My name is Natalie McGee. I am one of the managing partners, one of the founders of WSM. Typically in a day, I'm doing legal work, managing our employees, working with our various vendors in order to run our business as smoothly as possible. A lot of training is involved. We have some wonderful associates and just kind of keeping them on task and helping them become the best attorneys that they can be. That's mostly what I'm doing here at WSM on a day-to-day basis. So at WSM, we are really striving on kind of two different things, right? Making our law firm as tailored as possible to our female clients, and then additionally, making sure that our employees, who are mostly female, are able to thrive in the workplace. And so just the other day, I was talking to someone for a potential client consult on the phone, and she had told me she had talked to another, divorce area in our area who was a male, and she felt like he wasn't really listening to her concerns and understanding what she was trying to explain to him. It's not that she didn't like the advice she was being given, but she felt like he wasn't really listening and understanding what she needed in order to move forward with her plans for her life, right? Kind of important information we're seeking here. And so I think that providing that empathetic ear, and then also our knowledge base of the law to women in a curious way, right? When we're talking to our clients, we're always being curious. Why are you having these problems? What was happening during the marriage? How are things breaking down, or how are things kind of shaking out? Because I never know what I'm going to hear from my client and how that could ultimately help their divorce or custody case. And so I think that something that we bring to the table that a lot of other attorneys aren't bringing to the table is always remaining curious and women-focused, right? Because women and men do not experience divorce or custody battle in the same way. And so then the second kind of part of our mission is supporting our employees and making sure that they are really blossoming into excellent litigators in their own right. At a lot of other law firms, you are hired and you walk in and you're just given a docket and expected to know what to do, and then when you inevitably don't know how to move forward, it's, you're kind of looked down upon. And here we understand that's natural, right? You're coming into a new area of law, maybe you have had a lengthy career doing something that's completely and totally unrelated to family law, but we still think that you're bringing value to the organization. We want to hear from you, get your perspective as to how your skill set can help us forward our mission of empowering women in their divorce and custody battles, but then also giving you the tools that you need in order to be a successful family law litigator. So one of the things that we really find important at WSM is maintaining your own personal sense of identity. No, we don't expect you to make work your life, and I think that when a lot of us go to law school, there's like this big dream that the law school is kind of jammed down our throat about becoming an associate at a big law firm and making the big bucks and making the big hours. And here we really want to make sure that you're still taking care of yourself and your own mental health and your family and whatever else it is that you have going on at home when you're not at work. Because ultimately, happy attorneys means happy clients, and happy clients means more money for all of us. So I think that, if you're an associate kind of working that 9-to-5 position, we really want to make sure that you're getting the support from us that you need in order to become a fully realized attorney in your own right. If you're a managing attorney, you always have the Columbus office. I think it can be really scary truly going out on your own, not having anyone to bounce ideas off of, not having the support that you need if you are trying to make big hiring decisions. And when you're a managing attorney for WSM, you're never alone. We're always here. We talk to our managing attorneys in Detroit, San Antonio, Indy, Cincinnati at least weekly. Hari, Katie, and I are always bouncing ideas with them, working together with them, collaborating, listening to whatever their current issues are in their specific office, and trying to really get to the heart of the issue and make them better, celebrating their successes. Each month we're just learning more and more about each of our managing attorneys, and I'm loving the process. So WSM started in Columbus, Ohio. One of our first branch offices that we opened was in Cincinnati. They're a wonderful managing attorney there, Jen Scheller. She's been great to work with. She's been a wonderful managing attorney, super successful in getting associates and keeping her clients happy. From there, we moved on to Indiana, where Jane is our current managing attorney. And we also now have an office in Detroit, Michigan, with our managing attorney, Abby. Abby's always kind of balancing that work-life balance. She has a almost 2-year-old son, and her partner is also an attorney. And so, we really want to, shout out Abby for all the hard work she puts in at WSM. Our newest managing attorney is Diana, and she is in San Antonio, Texas. So we are rapidly spreading across the U.S. and hopeful that maybe your city will be next. Okay, so who are we looking for to work as a managing attorney at WSM? We want someone who has obviously a background in family law, someone who is very driven, who's not afraid to, take risks and get messy. And part of the reason why we are looking for someone who is able to think those big ideas is because we're always going to be there supporting you. We know that opening your own office can be a scary process, but we're there to support you financially. We're there to help you brainstorm. We're there to help you hire. Ultimately, it's your office, of course, and we defer to whatever you think is right for your office, since you're the one who's there every day grinding it out. But we want to make sure that you know that we've done this before at other locations, and we're always a resource. And so, when we're looking for that perfect managing attorney, we really just want to see enthusiasm. I think it's our number one most sought after character trait. So if you love divorce and family law and you really want to take control of your own career, you should apply to work for us, and we would love to talk to you. Sure. So at WSM, we're not just a law firm, we're always thinking big picture. And for me, one of the reasons why I really wanted to start my own law firm is because I wanted to change the work culture and how women are perceived in the practice of law. I think that a lot of times women are seen as not as favorable hires because you have that family aspect, those additional responsibilities, and I think it's a shame because women have a lot to contribute to the workforce, especially when we're dealing with divorce. You're trying to empathize with other women, understand their struggles. When we're talking about custody, especially, who better to understand the ins and outs of what needs to happen at home than somebody who's doing it themselves after they get off of work, sometimes during work. And so I think my vision is, to change work culture and change how women are valued in the workplace. And I don't think I was getting that at other places I was working, and that's definitely not what my peers were telling me either. And so I guess if you want to see something, you just got to do it yourself. And I've been really pleased with all of our managing attorneys at their offices, at how we've been able to really expand how women are perceived in the workplace and really let them come into their own. So as a parent myself, as someone who has a lot of additional home responsibilities, because I have a husband at home also, when I hear my clients talk to me about their struggles and what they need help with moving forward in court, I completely and totally understand. I'm never going to be the one to say, well, that's not important, that doesn't matter. It's going to be, well, I hear your concerns and let's figure out how we can make the court care about this very important issue. I think that some attorneys can be very dismissive of these more mundane domestic details, but I think that everything's important. It's just what are the tools in my toolbox and how can we use them to get you the results that you need in court. And so I've been really excited to have the opportunity to work with a lot of other women who have similar backgrounds and to really help them lean out of this more traditional approach of, okay, well, we have these few things that we need to worry about and I don't really care about what else you have going on at home, and really help them hone in on servicing what the client's needs are in the moment and figuring out creative ways to use those facts in court.